Right, hello and welcome to the lab! Anyway, this is a video I know a few of you are keen to see, because we've got this 1950s Geiger Muller counter, which is a fancy way of saying it's a Geiger counter, but this is a lab version, and this one runs on tubes. I didn't know the name of the tubes. They are very desirable and collectible. Begins with a D. I shall annotate it on the video. But yes, let's have a look at this thing. On the front, it has a normal counter, the reset, and then for the tens, there's one of the tubes, which are fascinating. I'm going to close up of these. I shall zoom in actually. Let's do that. Yes. Come on. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Now focus. There we go. Yes, you can see all the little elements which light up. It's a strange system. One attracts the other and it goes around it. And that's how it works. Now this one on the right hand side is loose, so probably just needs remounting. On the bottom we've got the mains on off. Oh, toggle switch. Now my wife's telling me I have to do it like this. There's a style to putting these on and off. You have to flick them and then bend your finger like so. Oh yeah, toggle switches. Anyway, EHT volts, I have no idea what that is, but I do know it turns incredibly smoothly. What's that? Count? So it must be go. Reset button. Imagine resets these two. GM counter, no idea. GM 1K, no idea. Different positions for the tube itself. Panex Equipment Limited, Red Hill Surrey, Scalar Type 102ST. On the side, we've got where I imagine the tube itself originally went. Yes. Not much paint left on it, but I'm going to do a sympathetic restoration of this. I'm going to clean it up, fix like the tube, make it all look nice, but I'm not going to restore any paintwork or anything. I'm just going to clean this up so it's got the aged look. These two, no idea what they're for, some sort of mounting thing. Might have a better idea when we go inside. On the rear, bit of corrosion. Alright, got cooling vents. And the power options here. Let's have a look at these. Zoom in. And we got serial number. Oh, J2107. Input. Don't know what that's for. 2.3 volts AC input, output, don't know. An aux socket, don't know. Power socket, I do know. The fuse. And yes, I've not seen one of these before, but all you do to change your mains is pull out, swap, push back in. We are in England. Her Majesty's voltage works on 240, so that's what I'm leaving it on. Now it did have a pat test of recent, because it's got pat test stickers on it. There we go, but the writing is either rubbed off or oh, excuse me. Rubbed off or been worn off, removed. Loads of cooling vents on the bottom. On top, nice. Actually, chrome handle to carry this heavy bugger. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go inside, and I've got to work out exactly how to go inside. There's 4 screws on the bottom, there's these screws on the face, 4 screws on the bottom, and there's 2 on each of the mountings on the side. So I think I'm going to remove all of them first of all and see what happens. I'll be back. Well, that was surprisingly simple. All I did was unscrew the 4 on the face and it slides out of the case forward, so we now have access to it. Amazing. Right. What are we playing with here? What are we doing? Okay, what we got inside, around the back, we've got this amazing PCB. These huge traces. Oh, it's one of the most massive traces I've ever seen. Quite impressive piece of engineering there. Wouldn't have a problem repairing that, because there's no microsurgery involved. Inside, we've got the two boards with the tubes there. Probably easier if I take the camera off, and we'll do it that way, shall we? Yes, let's do it. Right, we're going in. So inside we've got the two Dekatron, whatever they're called, tubes connected to these PCBs, which once again have massive traces on them. Look at that. Leading to these ports. Now, down the back here, we've got, can't really tell, but I'm suspecting, looking by the connections, that might be a big OS capacitor. Might be wrong, because I may have to go in and investigate further, because I've got to straighten this board up. But now this board is loose at the port there. The port itself is loose, so that's where the problem there lies. That one, as you'll see, is much better. See, it's not fair. That one's we've got rubbers on the front here. If I push them forward, I think they're supposed to be in the holes. Someone has operated on this and not replaced them properly. So if I can push them forward, that may solve that problem. It's very dirty in here. Is that Wi-Fi I hear? No. I thought I heard Wi-Fi coming up the stairs then. Yes, there is. Just bring the old, there we go, the old lamp over, light it up, and yes, here are the kids. Huge old capacitors, resistors. I mean, even if I didn't want this thing, this whole, as a system of whole parts, oh yes, it's quite valuable. Diodes, resistors, capacitors, all over the place. They are, what are they? Can we see what they are? There's on the back, they've got screws, so there's some sort of adjustment, I think. Let's have a look, is there any wording on here? Here we go. Yeah, set 1K, set 250, set 500. Yeah, so they're imagine they're variable resistors. Everything's quite dusty and pitted with years of corrosion, but it all looks good. Want to know what that bugger is? I'm going to, well, that's going to be the power supply, isn't it? Down there. Turn it over. Let's see. Here we go. Electrolytic, it says there, which means it's an electrolytic capacitor. And here we've got the transformer, which will just be a wire transformer in there, wrapped around, out of which come the different voltages. God, I'm learning quick. Oh, I'm impressing myself. Yes, so there you go. So that goes. This is more for EEPROM 9, who's really into this sort of stuff. So you've got the transformer going with the different voltages to the select switch here. So you can select your different voltages, obviously. Just put it under the light. My little, what do you call it? Pixar light. There you go. The Pixar light I restored. It's very handy. Yeah, so there's the back of the tubes. I'll just zoom in here so you can actually see all the connectors and stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. 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 EEPROM, I bet you're wetting yourself right now, aren't you? Anyway, yes, so this is especially for you because I know you like this sort of stuff. And that is one big arse capacitor. Proper old style. Don't think I'll get a replacement for that if it ever goes, but I'm not paying power to this because I've got no tube for it. But if I don't get a tube, I may have to. So what I'm going to do is push these rubber gaskets forward, hopefully, see if that solves the positioning problem, and then we'll go for a general clean up on the outside. I think just a dusting on the inside and clean up on the outside, and we'll see how it goes. Gee. Right. A short while later, and yes, I've done a little bit of sympathetic illustration on the main system itself. Let's take the camera off and take a peek. For the inside, I've just used some compressed air to give it a general blow around, although it is, you know, caked on, but unless I was to actually strip this thing completely, well, that's not going to get done. I may do that someday, but not today. For the exterior, I managed to get the, let's try and get some light in there. I managed to try and get the gaskets back in place, which is a pain, especially on this one, because you can't, very difficult to get your fingers around there. I've put some tape and glue on, just to tape's just to temporarily hold it while the glue sets. There's glue in there trying to hold it in place, because due to the extreme age, they've shrunk or whatever, and they don't want to hold in place anymore. But I've treated the fronts of the gaskets with baby oil to turn them back black. Done the same to the counter, that's been treated with baby oil, and I've used a bit of sandpaper to take some of the corrosion off that knob, and the rest of it's just had a general scrub. So, not too bad, and that isn't loose anymore. Great. So we'll put it back in its case, clean the case, and I'll be back. Right, short while later, and finished! Restored. Yep, give the case itself a general clean up. There are markings on it, but this is where, like, looks like paint or something's been sat on it in the past, so that's ingrained into the metal. Nothing I can do about that. It gives it the aged look. I've given the face and the seal a bit of baby oil just to give them that little sheen. The side, I'll just use compressed air to blow away loose paint. Give it a little rub up, and it's going to stay like that. So, there we go. Nice to find that for £5, 1950s. Geiger counter basically. So, yes, hope you enjoyed a look at some 1950s technology, lab technology. Thank you very much.